Hi, YouTube. I have just gotten off a series of whiskey reviews, also poaching. But I'm sure my core audience of unaged rum maniacs have been getting impatient with me, so I want to do a little video to make them happy. What I've got here is a bunch of samples I've collated from some very kind people who were happy to send them to me here in Illinois, where I can't, really buy stuff from out of state. And basically, these are molasses-based high ester rums made in former French colonies. So we got one from Martinique, and we've also got one, or well, two from a distillery on Réunion. In so this is French Caribbean versus Indian Ocean. So this is very, very nerdy stuff. I've got further stats on these, but that's the basic idea. So people tend to think of, the French style of rums. They think, Martinique, Guadeloupe, and they think the rum agricole style. They think, rum made from cane juice rather than processed molasses. This wasn't originally how it was, though, and it has a lot to do with basically blockades on French shipping and Napoleon deciding that it would just screw, the whole enterprise of, growing sugar and stuff in the colonies to bring back home. They would just plant sugar beets all over France and have their sugar there, which kind of defeated the purpose of having, rum production out in, the middle of nowhere, and basically forced the producers there to switch, just putting all of their work towards rum and other kinds of stuff because, they couldn't compete with the pricing on rum that was being made in the French homeland. That was a lot very quickly. But the point being, there are a couple of distilleries that are still making rum in that older style, the what is often called the Grand Arôme style. Please forgive my pronunciation. I'm going to mess up all of these. One is the Galion distillery on Martinique, which is the last sort of big sugar producer on the island, and as a sort of side gig, they got a column still there that they keep running, and they produce this stuff. We've also got Savanna distillery on Réunion, which is basically makes all the rum. They make just about any damn style of rum you could think of, and among them being also the same style of Grand Arôme, high ester rum that is also molasses based. All right, that was a lot. Let's get into the individual reviews. All right, so this Grand Arôme from Galion. This is an independent bottling, a collaboration between the Aficionados server, so the nerds on the rum Reddit, and also Find Drams, which is a very, prominent, European spirit shipping website. What are my stats on this? I wrote these down because they weren't written here. Let's see. So we got it's molasses distilled from a small column still, traditional column still, not one of the big triple monsters. 481.7 grams per hectoliter of ester, and bottled at a modest strength of 58.32% alcohol. All right, so this is a look into yesteryear. This is a look into, the Mark III Mai Tai, what that sort of older style of Martinician molasses-based rum might have been like. And it really does initially come across kind of cross between, say a Jamaican rum, traditional English style, heavy pot still rum, and an agricole. So I'm getting, so it's very stinky, basically. So you're getting black olives, black licorice, kind of a rotting meat note, like a rotting hamburger note, but nice. But then I'm also getting, beyond that, a kind of a fried green tomato note, and a little bit of a spritz of like grapefruit juice, which I more associate with rum agricole. And then just like some seawater, and there's like a, it's very mineral. There's a, like just like limestone for days on this. A little chalk dust too. There's some lemon peel going on. It's a very serious nose. It's you can tell you can tell the kinship with something with stuff from Jamaica that's sort of produced to a similar level of crazy funky esterness, but it's also just kind of a beast of its own. On the palate, oh, okay. A couple things at once. First of all, it's actually okay. I know it's strong. It's 58% alcohol, but it actually comes across as a little bit hotter than that. It comes across quite nippy on the palate. There's a pepperiness. There's a kind of white and black intermingled pepper thing, but it's actually just really, there's a delicious factor here. It's quite sweet on a kind of so there's some fennel, but it's really sort of black Twizzlers like mixed in with the fennel. It's a little more candied, like candied fennel, if that makes sense. And you're also throwing some lemon drops in there. Along with actual lemon, there's also like a cucumber note. Mostly like, wait, no. I was gonna say like real cucumber, but this is actually more like cucumber soda, if you've ever had it. Yeah, there's big dose of cucumber soda in there, even some pickled cucumber, just a little bit though, just a little ting. Fresh tar, black pepper, seawater again. That minerality thing, the chalky, limestoney thing, that's definitely here. And again, I'm kind of reminded of some kind of cross between agricole and big funky pot still molasses-based rums. It feels like there's a terroir effect coming into this, along with, just the particular method of distillation. And this is actually really impressive and quite funky. Let's get that out of the way. We're squarely in, standing on the verge of getting it on territory here. So what I'm going to do, so my usual way of doing high-proof monsters like these is to just go through them once neat, add some water, and go through them again after they've had some time. Let's see if that's good enough. Oh, nope. 5. So that is the Galion. We are moving away from the French Caribbean and into the Indian Ocean. This is the Savanna Lontan. This was, I think, an official bottling of theirs. This is from Réunion. It's also marked as a Grand Arôme. Also molasses-based, also distilled in a traditional column still. I think this, I'm not sure, but I think this one was bottled for La Maison du Velier, or La Maison du Whiskey. I'm not editing that out. I don't edit anything. So I think, so official bottling, Lontan, column still, that's important because we're going to go pot still in a second. Bottled at 57% alcohol. I don't know the funkiness number on this. but presumably pretty funky if they're going to give it the Grand Arôme label. Totally different nose. That's just the difference in terroir, right? We're talking going around the planet at this point. This smells, Jesus. Okay. Think about, so if you've never been to IHOP and tried individually each of the little, slightly disgusting syrups they've got in the tray there on the side, you definitely need to do that, especially if you're a wine drinker, because those syrups show up in wine all the time, particularly in like kind of New World style Spanish wines for some reason. I get them a lot in those. But here I am getting strawberry pancake, IHOP pancake syrup, but mingled with almost a bloody note. It's like almost as if you came into IHOP with like a gigantic blood clot in your hand, and you just poured some strawberry syrup on it. Maybe not. Maybe it's not like a blood clot. Maybe it's actually more like a liver note. Yeah, kind of like a beef liver, and you just covered it in strawberry syrup. I used to love liver. I don't really eat it because I get scared by the potential for vitamin poisoning, but and beyond that, there's like a really interesting leafy herbal note. It's not. Initially, I was thinking eucalyptus or something, but it's not really eucalyptus. It's like halfway in between that and mint. It's almost like an immature peppermint, as if you're smelling you picked some peppermint that was, like a week before it was really ready to sort of go into anything. Yeah, so young peppermint, strawberry syrup, and like bloody liver. That's what we're getting here. It's a really different nose. We're gonna throw in some wild cherries. Cherries and kirsch at the same time. Maybe like an orange peel, a little fennel, not too much, nothing compared to this. And some red tea, some rooibos tea, definitely. Maybe a little bit of olive, like a green olive note. So more black olives, more green olives. Definitely more green olives on the Lontan. On the palate, Ooh. Okay, what you just saw there was the finish kicking me in the teeth with like a boot made of flowers. Okay, this starts extremely fruity, like lychee fruit, chewable kids vitamins is a thing. There's some olive in there. Olive is technically a fruit. And then it just like turns very floral, not soapy or anything like, not laundry. I've complained about laundry notes before. This is just straight up like an aggressive, like kind of a bitter floral flower thing. Let me try that one more time. Yeah, still there. Ooh. I like it anyways, though. Very berry driven on the palate. I was getting strawberry more on the nose. Actually, hang on. No, there's some other berries in this now. So on the palate, I'm getting really more blueberries and blackberries than strawberries. But now that I'm nosing it again, I am getting a little kind of mixed berry note on the nose as well. Lots of different berries. Fennel, brininess, that kind of leafy young peppermint note again, rooibos again, more red tea. Oh, but that floral thing, that kick. this will probably, whatever score I give this, it'll probably get a minus tacked on to the end of it because of that sort of bitter floral finish. There's also a lot of just pure cane syrup going on in here. So we're just, we're taking our jug of our little can of Steen's cane syrup and we're just dumping some of that in here. It's nice. Okay, let me give this a couple of squirts of water and we'll come back to it later. But at the moment, I will say, on points, clearly losing out to the Galion, but this is much more unique. This is, you're kind of, if you know your rum pretty well, you already know most of the flavors going on in here. They're just in a more unusual, interesting combination. It's probably better made too. This. Yeah, this has more novelty to it. And that in itself is a selling point, right? All right, but now let us move on to the second Savannah in the lineup. This is the Savannah, I don't even know, do you pronounce it HERR or just hair? High ester rum Réunion, I believe this is. Okay, I got my stats. So this is bottled by Velier under their Habitation Velier line. Velier is in kind of an interesting place right now. This is not the place to talk about it. Also from pot-distilled molasses. Also high ester count. I didn't write down the ester numbers. I remember it being a range, though, not just one number, which is a little weird. But distilled in a pot still this time, and that can make a difference. Especially, I don't even know what kind of pot still it is, but if it's a shorter squatter model, that's going to make a huge difference to what comes off. This is bottled at 61.1%. Savanna Réunion single rum HERR. Here we go. This, okay, again, totally different nose again. It really comes across like a Baijiu initially. There's a like strong aroma Baijiu, like Oolong or something. Very anise driven. This smells like almost like a Rocky initially. You know, the Turkish anise liqueur. But then on top of the sort of anise liqueur thing, you're gonna put on like some bubble gum. Double bubble, if you remember that from being a kid, and if you didn't, you're missing out. Lots and lots of stuff going on. This is I mean, this one is just. I had it open. The first half of this bottle open last night, and I couldn't. It was really hard for me to get a beat on it because it was just constantly changing. This one is ducking and weaving all the time, like Muhammad Ali. It doesn't smell like it was distilled from something as sort of naturally occurring as sugarcane. This smells like it was distilled from Lucky Charms. And I mean the marshmallows, not the sort of grainy part that's actually healthy, it's that you never liked as a kid. This is Lucky Charms marshmallows going into a pot still. So yeah, anise all over the place, bubblegum. I'm starting to get some pear skin and minerality. There's some gravel. And there's also this something I noticed in that Hamden review, the DOC, the DOK, which is another Aficionados bottling. There is a kind of intermingling of like a rocky cave note and a floral note. Those two sort of hanging together in a kind of, so you know, cave made out of flowers, if you like. I want to be able to nail that note down, but that's all I got right now. It's like, you know, inside a sort of ancient cave and flowers at the same time. And I'm also getting a little bit of cigar smoke, like a claro, very herbaceous green cigar smoke. You mean like a green herbaceous strawberry, like an unripe strawberry note. Actually, the nose reminds me a little bit, not the whole nose, but aspects of the nose remind me of a little bit of a Provence rosé. It's that sort of mingling of red fruit and a slight green herbaceous touch. That's in here. Really complex nose, really complex spirit. On the palate, big, big spirit, nippy, extremely dense. Jesus. So we're getting layers of double bubble gum. Maybe throw some Big League Chew in there. No, wait, different bubblegum, but different flavors of bubblegum. This is like you're getting some pineapple bubblegum in there, some strawberry bubblegum, like just all the different flavors of bubblegum, including ones that, you know, haven't really been invented. Like there's anise bubblegum in there, cherry gum. And then there's the Baijiu notes in there. That sort of anise, fennel, kind of a rotting, fruity thing. A little bit of a stinky cheese note as well. Man, this has a lot going on. Cigar, the sort of green, claro, herbal cigar again. Mixed olives, black and green. Okay. Now, there are some normal things to hang on to. There's some lychee fruit, little banana peel, tar, and very prominently that same kind of like cave slash flowers thing I was getting on the nose. That's right here as well. Really big spirit. Really just, I mean, dense. This is super, super dense stuff. And difficult. This is not one you're going to be able to put down without thinking about it. This one's going to challenge you a little bit. All right, I'm going to give this some water and we'll come back to it in a little bit. 4, I don't know this is going to need 5. At least 5. Jesus. All of these are just brutally funky. Never say that I never do anything for your rum world. All right, I need to cleanse my mouth. My mouth is covered in cave flowers. Jesus. All right, let's go back. And assuming I have a palate left, let's try the Galion again. All right. On the nose. Now that it's got some water and a little bit more time in the glass, it actually gets more traditional, a little more traditional, kind of funky rummy. The less sort of rotting fruit, the grapefruit kind of thing kind of pulls back. So we're really just talking olive and fennel and lemon peel and brine. You know. Give this to me without any context, and I could think it's a long pond or something. Little like a little topsoil, like a muddy topsoil thing. Some minerality mixed in with the funky fruity notes. Something about this reminds me of like old Chenin Blanc, like an old Savannah or something. That intense, sort of slightly sour minerality. Quite good. I do wonder, and I don't think I've ever seen a Le Galion that's been aged. I did see one that was finished in PX, but you know, I would love to see what this stuff does with 8-10 years in like a second or third fill bourbon cask. I think it would be terrific. you know, if you gave it time to sort of age properly. It just feels like it's got the structure of that. On the palate, oh, gets sweeter. Initially, I did find it initially delicious. Now it's gotten more delicious. It's not just the proof is lower. It does lose a little bit of those agricole notes, those kind of Martinician terroir kinds of notes. It's not as citric. It's not as grapefruity or tarry. It's much more on, you know, again, licorice, olives, you know, brine, a little lemon stuff, and then just like straight up rock candy, especially on the finish. You know, rock candy. Oh, and the cucumber soda thing is still there. Yeah, I mean, this is if you like Rum Fire, if you like Rum Bar, the Worthy Park, this is going to be your jam. You're going to like this. I don't have the price points on any of these, but if you're into that kind of thing, you will like this. This is the easy one of this bunch. Like, this is the easy sell. I would give this 87 points. No, 87 plus. 87 plus out of 100 without a second thought. This is real good. I would love to see more stuff from Galion Distillery. They seem super cool. And yeah, that's kind of all I got. That's one more time. Yeah. If you're looking to expand beyond Jamaica, but kind of keep your feet in that same style, this is one to go for. That's very well made. And very well selected by the aficionados. All right, moving on to the Lontan, the first Savannah of the group. All right, I thought this was blood and strawberry initially. Let's see what it did with some time and some water. Okay, the bloody strawberry thing, like livery strawberry thing, is still there, and it's come back with a vengeance. Very dominant. There's a little bit of it's not really minty or eucalyptusy anymore. It's really more like fresh forest leaves. Like, you just, you know, went into the forest and pulled some leaves off a tree. You mixed them together. There's some regular leaves. There's some evergreens. And then just kind of all the same stuff from before. The kirshy cherry thing, the tea, the fennel. Maybe the tar thing is coming out a little bit more now. It just doesn't develop very much with water, and that's okay, because it was a nice rum to begin with. All right, on the palate. Okay. Yeah. So first things first. That sort of floral bitterness at the end, that's still there. Kind of a little bit hollow. It's still animated by that sort of strawberry syrup note. Very fruity, very kind of berry driven still. Again, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, maybe a couple of raspberries. Throw some cherries in there too. The fennel, that's the syrupy thing, which is very weird. It's nice. It's nice. I do like this. The mid palate, which is a little bit flat, and the finish, which is a little bit floral bitter. they really bug me. I will give this like an 85 minus. I do think it's good. It's definitely, I mean, if you were really looking for something different, like if the Clarins are starting to bore you, if you're one of those people, you will want to seek this out just because the flavor profile is so different from anything else I can think of at the moment. That being said, I don't think it's as good as the rest of the company here. So there's that. 85 minus. All right. And God help me, I'm going to go back to the hair. All right. Back to this pot distilled molasses Grand Aroma monster thing, whatever it is. Okay, so how do I describe this? With a little bit of water, it doesn't really develop that much, but the layers that were already there start to separate a little bit. It becomes a little bit more easy to follow, a little bit more approachable. I'm not working as hard to kind of figure this out. I'm still getting all the anise rocky thing, the bubblegum thing, the floral cave thing. It does become a little bit more herbal and a little bit more smoky. Throw a little cotton candy in there too. Throw a little not strawberry syrup, more like a little raspberry touch in there. Just a little squirt of raspberry syrup, or even like not syrup, like raspberry air freshener or something like that. Just throw a little bit of that in here. It is just a huge nose. This is a gigantic, obnoxiously huge spirit. On the palate, and that's a surprise. So again, it doesn't develop all that. I'm not getting that many new flavors and out of some water. What it does is it becomes very integrated and delicious. The lychee fruit comes out. There's some there's a tropical fruit party in my mouth, and everything is invited. There's some guava, pineapple, little like banana, but more like banana candy than actual banana. The lychee stuff again. Yeah, shamelessly delicious out of nowhere. Still has a bite to it. Black licorice, but like a nice, how do I put this? Nice black licorice, like stuff you actually want to eat. Bubblegum, still all the bubblegums, and that just sort of tropical fruit barrage. And the cave flower thing, that's still there too. Actually very dominant. The cave flower thing is right up in front. I was just paying attention to other things and not picking up on it. So yeah, oh man, that's nice. I cannot find this in Chicago anymore. I did not buy it when I could have, and I regret that decision. This is a 90-point rum. I give this a 90 with no hesitation, and if you can still find this, I would seek it out and grab it. This is very, very good stuff, very, very different stuff. I feel it's going to be a challenge for everyone except for the absolute maniacs. But at the same time, if you find it challenging, throw some water in. Just get yourself a teaspoon, straw, whatever you need to, and just put a little water in. Give it some time. And it just opens right up and comes right together for you. Oh, that is nice. 90 points. All right, so we got for the Galion, we got 87 plus. Savanna Lontan, 85 minus. Not a great score, but still worth hunting down if you want something really different. And for the Savannah HERR, HERR, straight up 90. Terrific effort. And that's kind of all I got. I really hope we end up seeing more of these in the future. They're just really interesting twists on the sort of molasses-based high ester genre. If you're starting to get a little bit bored of that from, Jamaica and whatever happens to be coming out from the rest of the world. All right, and that's kind of all I got. This is great, and thanks to everyone who sent me samples. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this was informative and useful, and cheers.